So much indeed, Lewis. Now an item about one of my favourite writers, because hundreds of previously unseen objects connected with the world-famous Dorset writer Thomas Hardy are going on display next year.
It's being described as a blockbuster exhibition so big it will be spread across 4 museums.
Yeah, and to help pay for the ambitious project, people are being asked to adopt various items and make a contribution towards their conservation. Steve Humphrey got a preview of what's going on show.
Dorset's towns, villages and countryside inspired Thomas Hardy's prodigious literary creativity. Many items connected with the author are on display here at the Dorset Museum in Dorchester, but some artefacts have been in storage ever since his death in 1928.
This permanent exhibition opens summer this year, and it's got some amazing Thomas Hardy treasures, but this is just the tip of the iceberg.
The great writer was also a great collector. The treasure trove of his personal artefacts not on display are carefully and securely stored. Every object has its own unique story. Hardy even had a special bell.
It's an old Dorset sheep bell, and so this is how you tell where your sheep are.
And sheep bells feature in the novel Far from the Madding Crowd.
The lines in the book talk about how you can tell your sheep by the clanging of the bells, and you get the nice kind of gentle rattle of them just grazing peacefully, or you get this kind of frantic humming of them running along.
There's a scrap of material from his mother's wedding dress and a jug that reminded Hardy of his grandfather's role in the Napoleonic Wars. One of the stars of the collection is his grandmother's kettle.
And the inside is absolutely full of layers and layers of limescale.
Some of the stories his grandmother told were used in his books.
You can imagine it being the kettle that was always put on when cups of tea were being made, waiting for the kettle to boil, the stories that would happen while the kettle was boiling.
Next summer, previously unseen artefacts will go on display here in Dorchester and at museums in Salisbury, Poole and Devizes. To help pay for the project, people are being asked to contribute to a crowdfunding appeal.
Because these objects are so fragile, we have a lot of cost incurred with putting on an exhibition like this in terms of making sure they're properly mounted, conserved, etc. before they go on to public display.
They are all items that give a fascinating insight into the mind of one of the world's greatest writers. Steve Humphrey, BBC South Today, Dorchester.
Yeah, fascinating stuff, but I do think Granny's kettle needs descaling,
Yes.
Alexis.
Well, it's part of history. You can't descale it now.
Make sure to boil it up and put it on the windscreen this morning because it was frosty again.
Yes, very frosty.